All of the site tools are located on the Massing and Site tab. To create a Topo Solid, in the Model Site panel, click Topo Solid. There are two main ways to create a Topo Solid. You can create from import, either from a CAD file containing 3D contour data, or from a CSV file that has points data. You could then import that information and create a Topo Solid. For this example, we'll use the Create from Sketch option. In the Modify Create Topo Solid Boundary tab, I am going to use the Rectangle tool from the Draw gallery to create the boundary of my Topo Solid. In the Properties palette, you can create new Topo Solids types and edit their structure. In this example, I am going to use the earth material and keep the variable options selected to allow the Topo Solid to have a variable thickness based on the points we are going to add. I am going to click OK and then Finish Edit mode to place the Topo Solid. Now, in the Modify Topo Solid tab, you can use the shape editing tools to add points to your Topo Solid. Click Add Point, and here you have three options. You can place the point along the surface and specify a certain offset from surface. You can use the absolute option, specify the elevation of the point and the elevation base. Or you can use the Snap XYZ to snap the created point to an existing geometry in the model. For this example, let's use the Along Surface option and use an offset of 15 feet and place 2 points. Then I am going to change the offset to 5 feet and place 2 more points. And while we do that, you can see the contour lines being created. Let's click the Modify tool to exit the command and go to a 3D view to see the Topo Solid we created. Now, let's talk about the Excavate tool. I am going to the Level 2 floor plan. In the Architecture tab, from the Build panel, select Floor, and I am going to place a generic floor here using the Rectangle Drawing tool. This can represent, for example, your building pad. You're going to get a warning saying that the highlighted Topo Solid and wall overlap. Let's close that and see what we can do to fix it. Let's go back to the 3D view and see how the floor overlaps the Topo Solid. Click the Topo Solid, then use the Excavate tool and select the floor you want to excavate around. And you can see here how Revit excavated around the floor. If you want to fill below your building, the easiest way would be to select the Topo Solid, then use the Add Point tool. But this time, let's use the Snap XYZ option and snap to the bottom of the floor. Alright, continuing on, you can subdivide the Topo Solid. And as you can see in the tooltip, it defines an area within a Topo Solid. When I activate the Subdivide tool, we go into Sketch mode, and you can use the options in the Draw gallery to create the boundary of the subdivision. I'll sketch a rectangle here inside the Topo Solid. When I do, I now have a subdivision created inside the Topo Solid. So what that means is that we can define a separate material in that subdivision in the Properties palette and click Finish Edit mode. And now you can see that there's a separate material in that subdivision.